there have been a lot of discussions in the groups about overcharging. And I think that most of it is based in emotion. Most of it is based in feeling, not fact. And some folks were asking, can you overcharge? And yes, you absolutely can overcharge. The way I see most shops overcharging is charging for parts that were not installed, billing substantially more hours than it took to do the job. Overall, just unfair trade practices in the way that they do things, making recommendations for things that aren't required, installing parts that weren't required to do the job properly, things like that. Now, you know, look, if there is a wear component and you're doing a job that involves you taking that wear component off, you should replace it. That's doing the right thing. If it's something on the other side of the car completely unrelated to what you were doing, that's probably overcharging. That's how I see folks that are genuinely overcharging. Now, if it is just about margins and it's just about the price that we charge per hour, whatever it is, especially one commenter who jumped in there and said, oh, I think they're definitely overcharging. When digging in with that individual, it was just that the price seemed higher than what he thought. You should be charging list price. And that's the most ridiculous comment ever. They don't understand that list price is a made up price. Now look, I've got a lot of consumers who watch, and I understand hearing me say this can be irritating. It can be frustrating, but I just need you to hear me here. A properly designed and developed business, whether it's a repair shop or whatever it is going to have a very clean set of financials. They're going to have a balance sheet, they're going to have a cash flow statement, and they're going to have a profit and loss statement. And those financial documents tell them how much it costs to run their business. If we look at our expenses and we average out how many hours we bill at any given time, we put that on paper and divide those expenses across how many hours that we bill, it's going to tell us how much profit we have to make. And so we adjust the numbers in the business to make sure we achieve that. You've heard me say this before. If you can go and put however many dollars in the stock market and you can make 10% or more in the stock market, why would I show up and go through the stress of owning a business for 10%? That doesn't make sense. Why would I invest all this energy into this? That's crazy. So I have to make more than 10%. Now look, I'm going to tell you the average automotive repair shop in the US today, 4% net profit. Crazy, right? Like, I know I wouldn't show up for that. You could put that sucker in a money market or a high yield savings account and get 4%. I would not subject myself to the torture that can be owning a business for 4%. That's nuts. Now, I still do. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm holding out for greener pastures, and building a team and systems around this business that make it more profitable and more manageable and more enjoyable to be a part of. But I guess where I'm going with this is that we're not just making these numbers up. And if you take the average repair shop and the amount of work that they can do, they need about 70% labor profit and they need about 50 to 60% parts profit. Now, folks say all the time, why would you not just charge it all in labor? I can buy that part for this price, and it makes it look like you're charging way more than you should. Well, because if we did that, then it would overcharge everyone because our labor rates would increase to such a degree the smaller jobs would actually be more expensive and the bigger jobs would actually be cheaper. And so we're kind of passing the wealth around a little bit, and that's not our job, right? That's not our responsibility. So it means that the smaller jobs can remain smaller jobs and the bigger jobs can remain bigger jobs, and each client kind of pays their fair share. My point in saying all of this is it's not a made up number, right? You take your expenses and you divide that across how many hours you bill or how many jobs you complete, however you want to look at it. You take that number and you say, here's how much gross profit per hour I need to survive. It's that simple. And then you look at each individual job, maybe it's gross profit per job and how many jobs I can do a day, whatever that is, however you come up with that calculation. It is a real number that we have to remain profitable. Now, I'm going to tell you, I think 20 to 25% net profit is what a business should do. But my message to all of you is that overcharging is only determined when you look at your financials. Now, if you don't have clean financials, I've never seen somebody with a messy set of financials or no financials at all overcharging. I've seen them undercharging all the time. But if you don't have clean financials, you don't know if you're overcharging or undercharging. So I think that's step number one. I just want to encourage you guys, like, hey, use facts to base your pricing. Use facts to set your pricing. And don't let emotions get involved, because this is not an emotional thing. It's a mathematical thing. It's on paper. Sorry. I hate it for the consumers. I really do. Things are getting more expensive. I hate it. I had to have the HVAC repaired, and I've had to have other stuff done around the family business and around the shop. It's expensive, and it's money that I don't honestly have, but it's what we're all going through. So I don't want to say it's not my problem that the repair is expensive, because I want to make it as fair as possible, and I do care about my consumers, and I want them to be as well off financially as they can be, and I don't want to take a dime more than I absolutely have to. But I also know that the financial freedom of my family and the well-being of my family and the well-being of my employees depends on me being smart about this and not letting emotion get involved. Doing this by the book. So do I think that the majority of repair shops are overcharging? No, I do not. In fact, I think that if we ran every repair shop in the country by the numbers, you would see that the prices would have to go up. Just my opinion, y'all. Y'all have a good one.